please remember to do that. Most of you are here on the F1 visas, and it is a minefield because you have consular processing, change of status, extension of status. You got to deal with SEVAs, curricular practical training, optional practical training, the STEM category, cap gap, 90, 60, 30 days. I should say 90, 60, 60, 30 days because those are all considerations. Now let's take a look at this. OPT and the cap gap. The cap gap occurs because we graduate usually in May or sometimes June, and we get to start work on the H-1B visa on October 1st, unless we're going to work for a nonprofit. So, what somebody very clever said that we're going to go ahead and create a bridge over that cap. So, you have to be in valid F1 status at the time of filing. You can't be out of status, of course, you're not going to have a caveat if you're out of status. So you file the H-1B before you graduate. If you're on OPT, you can continue to work on your OPT during that caveat. And it allows you, even if you don't have, if you run out of OPT or didn't have one at the time, OPT, you can still remain in the United States. It keeps you in status until you begin work on October 1st. If you're not selected in the H-1B lottery, what do you think happens? Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, you have 60 days to get out of Dodge. So that's unfortunate. But if you're selected in the lottery, this cap bridge will protect you.
I have a question, sorry.
Yes.
So if every April 1st is the application, when do you get the answer? For example, if you're in your OPT, it starts in February or it starts in April, actually, OPT.
And you come again next April.
And you don't, and you have your OPT, but you apply on April 1st as well for your the company, for the H-1B1, and you don't get it. So can you, during those 60 days, if you start, for example, in March, you have those 60 days you stay in the country and then they can apply for you again, even if you don't work for those days?
Apply for you again the following April.
Yes.
As long as you remain in status, so you might run out of OPT on April 1st, but you still have 60 days of status, you can do it.
Okay.
Yes.
How many days? I know they said it takes 90 days for you to get your card to start OPT. Can it take longer or shorter? If so, under what circumstances?
Everything can take longer. I don't know about shorter. They're pretty reliable on that 90-day EAD. And of course, you can file for OPT 90 days prior to graduation. So that's what we recommend. File that 90 days so that when you're ready to get your OPT or EAD is in the mailbox simultaneous. 90 days before, 60 days after. You have that 90-60 rule to apply. So you don't waste your OPT, file 90 days out. Your completion stage. Just the question is, if you work for a nonprofit, do you automatically get H-1B? No, nothing's automatic. You still have to, if you're a qualified nonprofit, and there's regs that say what you have to be, because some nonprofits are not what's considered to be affiliated. So, as a matter of fact, most nonprofits wouldn't work. But if you're affiliated with a university, or if you have offices on a university campus and you have an arrangement with the university, then you'd be cap exempt. But just because you're working for a nonprofit, that wouldn't necessarily put you cap exempt. There's specific rules about cap exempt. That's one of the things I want to suggest. By the way, if you're worried about the lottery, you could work someplace very close, couldn't you? Yeah, right here. Sure, you work for the University of Tampa, right? They can file an H-1B for you anytime. Colleges and universities are cap exempt. So why look any further? What a great place to work.
So in that case, I think the school files for H-1B.
No, H-1Bs are employment specific. You could transfer later, but see, when you transfer, are you transferring to another university or a private employer? When you transfer outside the university system or an affiliated nonprofit, now you got to get a number. So you have to file in April and hope you get a number. But you can transfer transfer from one cap exempt institution to another without a problem. But you can't get a cap exempt visa and then say, okay, I worked here a week, I think I'll go work